The last subject that we wanted to touch on, which is only barely a tax planning subject, is oil and gas deregulation. This is really not a tax cuts or tax policy issue. The reason we're talking about this here is that a significant portion of the dollars going into tax advantage projects, often for the purpose of reducing tax on ordinary income, goes into oil and gas projects. Those projects have become more attractive over the years as it's become easier to drill for oil and gas, and as the likelihood of those projects coming off and producing significant product have gone up. As fracking has become more accepted and as other technologies have been deregulated, we're seeing oil and gas projects produce more oil and gas. We're seeing fewer dry wells. And when you combine that with the tax benefits that you get from this sort of thing, which I'm not going to go deep into today, but you can read about, when you combine all those things, this has become a reasonably attractive tax strategy, especially toward the end of the year when things like solar and real estate might be a little bit tougher. The incoming Trump administration has talked pretty concretely about expanding oil and gas drilling and in particular reducing regulation on those projects. The language around this sort of policy really focuses on the kind of populist, we're going to cut energy prices, energy bills, but that doesn't really matter for tax planning. The implication here, though, for you all is if those regulations do get removed, if the oil and gas industries are able to drill in new spots, if they're able to use technologies that they weren't before, and there are specific proposals on the table, it's likely to make these projects more attractive. The numbers will just get bigger. The tax benefits aren't going anywhere. This isn't part of the Inflation Reduction Act, so it's not something that's on the chopping block really at all. So if you combine the same tax benefits, which just for everyone who doesn't know, can be as large as more than 100% deduction for every dollar that you put into oil and gas. If you combine that with increased production and higher returns from investing in a fund that buys and builds oil wells and gas wells, then you're going to see this asset class have larger ROI and potentially be more attractive as compared to, again, the alternatives. Like I said, that one is much less about specific tax policy. It's not about reading Congress. It's more just a kind of a vibe shift with any Republican administration taking office, but especially this one, potentially the move to kind of re-deregulation of that industry could be consequential.
Thank you.